Okay, so just a quick demo on how to use the Boye Pom Pom Maker. So I have my instructions here because I feel like it's important to go over the instructions. To be completely honest, I normally use the Clover Pom Pom Makers for all my pom-poms. This is the first time that I will be using one design like this that doesn't necessarily have the two levers. So this is something new for me, and I have read over the instructions, but I have them there just in case I need to reference them. I will be using the 3-inch one for this tutorial, but you pretty much use all of them the same way. They're no different in how you use them. For the tutorial, I will be using this Red Heart Super Saver yarn. This is the color called Day Glow, which is these bright neon colors. I just thought it would be fun to have a pom-pom in those colors. I also have some scissors here, and so we are going to get started on how to use this Boye Pom Pom Maker. So according to the instructions, you simply take the pom pom maker and you are going to insert your yarn into this left notch here that's here, and then you're just going to bring that around the front and insert it into the right notch. And then you're just going to bring the yarn up from the back and start wrapping it around. Nothing hard about that at all. And you do want to, the instructions say that you want to wrap evenly. And so I am just wrapping this around. According to the instructions, you do want to cover up the, let's pull some more of that yarn loose. So you do want to cover up the pink part there. And they say to simply wrap until this part, this bottom part here, is kind of filled in. Now the thing with pom-poms, and I've always felt this way about pom-poms, is that they definitely use a lot of yarn. So when you're making pom-poms, you will find that you're using quite a bit of yarn to make pom-poms, but the end result is so worth it. I love pom-poms. Of course, for my brown dolls, I use them. I use the pom-poms to, the pom-pom makers to make all of my Afro puffs. That's how I make my Afro puffs, is with the pom-poms. And so, but there are so many other cool ideas that you could do with the pom pom maker. And so I'm just continuing to wrap to the other side here. And now what I will do is just simply go back the other way and continue to wrap the yarn evenly. Like I said, what we're trying to do is just fill in the dip there, and that's when we know that we'll have a nice full pom-pom. Concern has always been, how do you get a round pom-pom with just one side? Because it seems like it would be a one-sided pom-pom. It seems like I would have to make two of these and glue them together for it to be a nice round pom-pom, but we're gonna see, because you know, according to the pictures and everything, their pom-poms do look round. So we are gonna see what happens here. And so I'm still just wrapping. And like I said, I really like these colors in this neon, this Red Heart Super Saver neon. So, yeah, I think this would make a really cool pom-pom. Okay, so for me, I think this is pretty full. Yeah, because it's starting to slide off and stuff. So I think this is pretty full for me. We'll come around just a little bit on this side, but yeah, that looks pretty full. And so I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one. So all right, yeah, that looks pretty good. That's pretty. It's pretty all wrapped up like that. Now, according to the instructions, once you have your yarn wrapped, what are you going to do here? Continue wrapping in even layers around the arch, filling the underside. Once the lower arch is completely full of wrapped yarn, you can go ahead and snip. So you can go ahead and cut off this, your working yarn that you were wrapping with. And now it says that you are going to release where you had the yarn on the levers. And so now release your coarse string, snip yarn at the right notch. So you want to slip it. Okay, so we're going to cut it at that right notch is what it says. And then it says to, well, my scissors didn't cut that. Okay, so I wrapped really tight because, okay, there it is. So see how that's moving, how this is, these two are connected. So when I pull this or this, see how those move. Now I probably should have left a longer tail, because what they are saying is that you now want, this is what you're tying it off with, which is very interesting and very different from what I'm used to doing. So I'm gonna tie that. That's what it says. And the thing about that is that's not allowing me to tie it really tight. And I would be a little concerned about that, because that is what makes your pom-pom, is how tight you get your center pull. And that is not allowing me to tie it very tightly, at least not for me. Not as tight as I would want it to be. But again, we are going to see what happens here. So I have a double knot, and now it says you can go ahead and cut with your scissors down what would have been the center. And here is where you would need some really sharp scissors. My scissors are not that sharp, so I'm gonna have to cut this in layers, because I definitely need some sharper scissors. But we're still gonna go ahead and cut. Like I said, I just have to cut mine in layers. There we go. Now we're getting to this center there. There we go. And turn to this side so I can cut it. So it says to cut, cut, cut. So we're cutting. All right. So I got through that. And you'll have to cut, and then it says to release the yarn from the pom-pom tool. So this is what we have so far. Untrimmed pom-pom will have one side that needs to be trimmed. Okay, so they do say that one side of this, if you look at the picture, so they do say that it will come off looking where one side really needs to be trimmed more than the other. I will be honest with you, with the Clover Pom Pom Maker, you don't have that issue. And I think that's mainly because with the Clover Pom Pom Maker, it has the two sides. So you're getting two sides that are the same side. But I will go ahead and start trimming this and trying to get a good shape. Now they do give you some ideas on how to trim it, like depending on what you want your pom-pom to look like. they give you some really cool ideas on how you can trim it. So far, I mean, it's not a horrible tool, but it would not be my go-to. I would not give up my Clover Pom Pom makers for this. You have to do a lot of trimming to get this to look like a nice, neat pom-pom. And I don't have time for that. Like I said, with the Clover Pom Pom Maker, because it has those two sides, I don't have to do all this trimming to get my pom-pom to look the way I want it to look. And so that would be my main concern. The tool works. Clearly, you can definitely make pom-poms with it. So the tool definitely works. You just got to do a bit more work than you would with the Clover ones. So if I had to recommend one over the other, I would definitely say Clover. I would definitely recommend Clover. And here's the thing. So this is what I'll do. Just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Just so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do this on a Clover Pom Pom Maker. Because like I said, I do have them because that's normally what I use. I do have the Clover one. So, but I mean, like I said, it's not a horrible pom-pom. You can definitely make a pom-pom with it. It's not horrible. So you definitely make a pom-pom with it. The tool definitely works. And they have 8 different sizes, so you could, use a different size. So it definitely works. It's just a lot to get it to, like, if you want your pom-pom to look like this, you would have to keep cutting. Like, I would have to keep cutting to get this effect. And like I said, that is just a lot of work to make that happen. But just for purposes of this video, I will show you how the Clover Pom Pom Maker works. So this is a Clover Pom Pom Maker. Yeah, this is, and I use this one on my keychains. Like, I use this one if I'm doing a 1-puff doll, or something like that. I use this one for like my 1-puffs. But we will take this same Red Heart Super Saver yarn and show you how this one works compared. So this is what was made with that. And then now with the Clover one, like I said, it does have these 2 levers. It actually comes apart. So we're going to put that back together, fold down one of the levers. When you are wrapping, so you see how those move, you actually wrap around both of these, not just one. You do wrap around both of these at the same time. You take your yarn and you kind of hold it here. Take your yarn here, hold that in place, and then just start wrapping around. It's the same idea though. You do want to wrap evenly. And the same idea, you do want to make sure that you are covering both, like you're filling in that arch. That's kind of how you'll know that you have a full pom-pom, is when that arch is filled in. So just keep wrapping, and like I said, you kind of just want to go from one side to the other and just keep wrapping. Now I am a little more comfortable with this tool because I do use it a bit more often. So like I said, the Boye tool is new to me. So because I use this one like pretty much all the time, this one is not as difficult for me. Okay, so this side looks pretty filled in. So what we're going to do, so now once you have that one side filled in, you can go ahead and close the tool on that side. You're just going to open up the other side. So you just want to open up the other side, and you're just going to do the same thing and wrap that yarn evenly around the other side as well. And so again, we're just going to go from one side to the other, wrapping as evenly as possible. I am going a little bit faster, you know, because this is a video. I know y'all just don't want to watch me wrapping on. But yeah, so just going to wrap. Oh, sorry if that wasn't on camera, but I'm just wrapping the yarn, so if you missed, if I went out of frame, it's okay. Okay, and so this side looks pretty full as well. And so I think we're at the place where I will go ahead and close this side as well. And we're ready to, yeah, that looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and close that side as well. So this is what it looks like when both sides are filled in. So I did go ahead and snip the working yarn. And so again, this is what I was talking about where it's a little bit different. So with the Boye one, we started with that working yarn, and then you had to, as I was saying, I should have left a bit of a longer tail so that I could tie that off a little bit better. The thing with this one is you don't do your tie off until after you cut this. So you're going to go ahead and cut up both sides. So cut down the middle of both sides here. So you want to cut down the middle here. And then do the same thing. And so that's what you get there. And then you want to do the same thing to the other side. We're just going to go ahead and cut down the middle. Okay, and now, so now I can tie this off, but I get to decide how much yarn I use to tie it off, which is the good part to me, because it's already cut. Now I can say, okay, I need, you know, a long tail or a shorter tail. And so now, and to tie it off, what you want to do is just simply take your yarn and insert it into that center part. So you're going to take your yarn and just insert it right into that center part. So see, so it comes right up into the other side. So I inserted it on this side, it comes up on this side, and now you can tie that off. And so again, because I do that after I cut, I kind of have a better gauge for how much yarn I need to use. And so same thing though, I'll do a double knot or a triple knot. Like I said, I wasn't able to do that with the other one because I didn't realize that I needed a longer tail. And then you can go ahead and, you know, snip that. Like if I was going to use that to sew it onto something, I would have left the tail a little longer. But once you have it tied off, you can now lift up the levers on both sides. So go ahead and lift up the levers, and then you just pull this apart. Just pull it apart, and now you can take your pom-pom off the tool. And so as you can see, you get a better shaped pom-pom when you do that. Now the pom-pom still needs to be trimmed because, you know, you still may have stragglies there, but it's not as much trimming as with the Boye Pom Pom Maker. So you get a nice full, and as you can see, it also doesn't have like that long part that the Boye Pom Pom Maker had when you took it off the tool. And that is again because you have the two levers, like you have two sides to it. And so me personally, I think we're going to stick with my Boye Pom Pom Makers. I mean, with my Clover Pom Pom Makers. Yeah. So this is the one that I made with the Clover versus the one that I made with the Boye. This one just does not have as much shape. Like, it just requires a lot more cutting to get the shape. Like, this is the trimming that I did on this one versus this is the trimming that I did on the Boye one. So that's the trimming on the Boye one. This is the trimming on the Clover one. And yes, could I do more trimming on the Clover one? Absolutely. But it's still not going to require as much trimming as the Boye one did. So there's the pom-pom with the trimming. If you just want to see, you know, how much did I have to trim to get that effect on that one. And this one, like I said, was made with that. And then we have this one that was made with that, but still a lot more trimming to get that effect. So again, if I had to choose, I would stick with my Clover ones. These definitely can be used. Just requires you to do a bit more work. Just requires you to do a bit more work. And it may be as if I were to continue to using these and I were to get more comfortable with using these, then maybe I would be able to kind of perfect the pom-pom. I did make another one just off camera, just for you guys to see. So this was another one that I made. And as you can see, it came out a little bit better than this one. This one was also made with the Red Heart Super Saver yarn. But again, this one still required a lot of trimming as well. It just, to me, the Clover tool just works better and doesn't require as much trimming to get the pom-pom done. So that is my, not necessarily a Clover versus Boye, but just an example of what the Boye Pom Pom Maker can do versus what the Clover Pom Pom Maker can do. And then you can decide for yourself which one is going to work best for you. All right, you guys, thank you for joining. Thumbs up if you like the video. Thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. Until the next time.